We are super excited to have you here and to have you learn more about Julie's Family Learning Program and all the great work that's being done there. We're going to just go over a little outline of what our agenda, what this is going to look like. We're going to have some introductions from our staff at Julie's. I'll introduce myself, Sharon Asiaf. I am chair of the board of Julie's Family Learning Program. I've been involved with the program for about 17 years now. I started as a volunteer at the program, did some fundraising, and then was asked to join the board, and now president of the board. Julie's has a very special place in my heart. I wish I could donate and all of my time to the program, but you do as much as I can. So with that, we will have some introductions from our staff, as well as another board member and alum. And we will be discussing what's going on at Julie's, what has happened at Julie's, and also the new programming that we've added to our programs. And then also our big exciting, this is our 50th year working in South Boston and serving the community of South Boston and beyond. Very exciting. So we will mention about our big fundraiser that we're having in April, as well as some other celebrations throughout the year. And obviously, we're going to let you guys all know how you could help if you're willing and able to do so. And then at the end, please stay on for a questions and answer session as well. So with that, I would love to introduce our board member and alum, Loretta Brennan.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I am a graduate of Julie's. I started Julie's in 2006 when my son was 5 months old. He's now 17. I attended Julie's, and from Julie's, I went to Bunker Hill Community College while my son was still in the Montessori in the toddler room. I remember I used to go on Wednesdays. Ian Doria would help me with my schoolwork. Julie's meets us where we're at. When my son was a baby, I lived off $400 a month. So sometimes it was hard for me to even have an MBTA pass to get to school with. Julie's helped me with that. Julie's helped me budget. Julie's helped me with family literacy, with my son, parenting skills. I'm most proud of the work I've done at Julie's. And it's so supportive. It's a place where people can go, even when they're not there 100% yet, and really grow and get their needs met, whether it's housing or, a clinician. So now I work full time. I sit on the board of directors, and that's my way of giving back to Julie's.
Thanks, Loretta.
Thank you, Loretta.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Now I'd like to introduce Michelle Person-Riley, our Executive Director at Julie's Family Learning Program.
And before I jump in, so I'm Michelle, I'm the Executive Director, and I'm just going to have Christy and Anna introduce themselves also. Christy, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christy Waybright. I'm the Development Associate here. If you have any questions or any tech issues, please go ahead and just connect with me in the chat.
I'm Anna Fernandez-Behrens. I'm the Adult Basic Education Program Director. Thank you so much for all coming today.
So I have been at Julie's the last year and a half. Previous to that, I was an executive director of another program for 15 years and very happy as an executive director, but really wanting to be at a program whose mission was closer to my heart, that I was really passionate about. And, took some time and was kind of choosy, deciding, where I might move next for the last position of my career is my plan. And was really excited and happy to join Julie's. From the beginning, the number of people that have been involved for many, many years or leave and come back, whether it's alum, volunteers, staff, board members, really speaks to what a special place it is. And just love the impact it's having each day and glad to be here at such an exciting time in the 50th anniversary year. to reconnect with, some of you have been involved for many years, and it's great that the 50th is kind of helping me to reconnect with Julie's history, and also think about the next 50 years and bring on new folks to work with us for what's next. So I am going to start to tell you a little bit about what Julie's does and what's new here. So today, oh, hold on one second. Sorry. Today, Julie's provides adult education classes and preparation for a high school equivalency to anyone age 16 and over whose schooling was interrupted for a variety of different reasons, and many different supportive services to help break down the barriers to success. We are very committed to being an inclusive and student-centered program that serves the whole family and the whole person. And we do that through 3 interconnected programs. So the first one I'm going to tell you about is really probably what those of you that have known Julie's, when you think about Julie's, it's the core program that has run since the beginning. That's our family development program. So in family development, we are serving low-income head of household moms with academic classes in preparation for their high school equivalency, and also with life skills classes. So Loretta was referring to maybe the biggest impact on her was learning, budgeting and parenting, health, and it's really, when we say student-centered, so much of what comes up in life skills comes directly from the moms and what their interest and needs are. And then we have many supportive services, including on-site childcare, which I'll get to in a little bit. But the family development program it's a big commitment. The moms are here for 20 hours a week, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 2. And if they have children between the ages of 6 months and 6 years old, 3 months and 6 years old, they can come with them. And I will talk about that in a little bit in a minute. So then, that program's been running for all 50 years, but in 2019, Julie's was fortunate enough to bring on another program through a lot of efforts of Anna here on our staff and others, so that we now serve not just moms, but anyone's age 16 and over. And our adult basic education program, it's also working with people on their high school equivalencies. But it is a part-time program. It's a lot of flexibility. So it's part-time and it's hybrid. So in that picture there, you actually see a classroom of students in the building, but also the teacher up at the board where there are some other students at home watching. So these tend to be folks that are already working, but realize to move ahead in their careers, they need to get high school equivalency, but they maybe can't commit to a program as intensive as family development, or maybe they aren't parents, and they can come here as well and work on getting that high school equivalency. And then the third program is our children's services program. And this is run from the beginning with family development hand in hand. But the reason that we kind of separate this out is because what's really exciting is since we brought on the adult basic education program in 2019, we're really working to make sure all of those supportive services that have always been there for the moms and family development are there for all of our students. And so what's exciting is just in the last year or so, we've had some of our part-time students also have children in our children's services program. And this is licensed early childhood education, 3 classrooms, newborn, infant, toddler, and preschool. And one example that I like to give is we have a grandfather actually in our adult education program who was working with us on his high school equivalency, and learned he was going to get guardianship of his granddaughter, and went to his teacher and said, "I'm sorry, I'm going to have to quit the program because I need to care for my granddaughter." And we said, "Wait, we have a spot in children's services. Would you like to bring her?" And just eyes filled up with tears, so excited that he could continue working on his degree while bringing his granddaughter here to our program. Let's see. So the other thing that's really important to us is family literacy. So we make sure that we bring the parents who are getting their adult education here together with their children in our program downstairs in many different ways. But at least once a month, we have a family literacy day. And so there is a theme that there is a book, there's an activity, and often a field trip around. So we've taken an apple picking trip we do each fall. In the summer, we actually do family literacy every week with field trips, to beaches or playgrounds or the aquarium. We've done that top right picture is actually the book was How Am I Peeling? A book about feelings, and it had different fruits and vegetables. And afterwards, the kids are putting like stickers of different emotions on the vegetables. And it's really our tie to modeling for parents, respecting parents as a child's first and best teacher, and giving them tools and strategies and books that they can use at home as well. Let's see. And then I've talked a lot about supportive services. So two that I want to highlight is our workforce development and family advocacy. So we have a family advocate on staff. She's right in the middle of that picture, Dorilys. She is there, when I said we serve the whole person and the whole family, we know that people that are with us, for some reason, their education was interrupted. There were barriers that interrupted their education, and those barriers still exist. And how can we help knock them down, so that a student can focus on their education? So she will help students with subsidy applications, for rental assistance, for help with food. She will help people with healthcare. She'll help them find camps for their children in the summer. Basically, you name it, Dorilys will either hold their hand through that process or refer them to a community partner that can help them with what they need. We also have a donation room with a food pantry, clothes, diapers, toys. We provide gifts at the holidays and meals at Thanksgiving. We help with transportation, as Loretta mentioned, was crucial for her. Really a lot, as much as we can do on site, and what we can't, we refer out to. And then for workforce development, Joan on our staff meets with each adult student to talk about what their goals are next and help connect them with further education or job training or employment, and brings in a lot of guest speakers, help students with financial aid applications, you name it. We were really focused on their next steps. I think I'm going to turn over to Anna now.
So currently we have about 100 students who are currently enrolled and active here at Julie's. 22 of them are in the family development program. And actually this fiscal year, since July, we have had, as of this morning, we added another one. So we have 7 graduates. We had our 4th one in family development just get the news today around noon that she had finished her high school equivalency, which consists of 5 tests: reading, writing, science, social studies, and math. So there was a lot of cheering downstairs today. It was really nice to hear. And that really inspires everybody. So we actually have 15 students who are currently taking tests, and probably after the news today, we may have even more that are excited to take their tests. So 3 graduates in the ABE program as well. We have a lot of partnerships. So we are actually able to offer on-site testing. Tech Computers Inc., which is an IT company that was offering tests in Andrew Square, the HiSET, GED. They also do some other tests like the Amazon and real estate test. They needed space. So we were contacted, and we have opened up a room in the basement so that our students can have the comfort of taking their tests at home. They're able to take advantage of our childcare, which is probably one of the biggest issues that they have, barriers that they have in taking the test. And also the test anxiety, I think, is really lessened because they know they're in a supportive environment to be able to take their tests. So, so that definitely helps encourage our students to go ahead and sign up. We have a partnership with English for New Bostonians, where our workforce development coordinator, Joan, she is also an ESOL teacher. So she offers an English class to about 15 students who are the parents of students at a high school, the Boston International Newcomers Academy in Dorchester. So we're able to offer that service where it's really highly needed, the English classes here in Boston. And then we just started a new partnership with Break Time, which is a nonprofit in Boston that offers services for homeless or housing insecure adults ages 18 to 24. And then they really help them transition to employment and gain stability. The participants do job or training, or can actually come to school and get paid for their hours here at Julie's. We also have really some strong partnerships with shelters like St. Mary's and St. Francis House, other adult basic education programs like JVS, Jackson Man, and Bunker Hill, and also many recovery services like Gavin Foundation, Back on My Feet, Hope House, and New Jolands. We get a lot of referrals for our services. In addition to our adult basic education classes, we also offer the Tech Goes Home class, where we can offer some computer training and which culminates in them being able to get a Chromebook and a hotspot, so members of the community are able to take part in that program as well.
Awesome. So what's next? So we're really excited about some upcoming pretty big projects that have taken up a lot of our time. We received a grant through the state for some capital work. And so our playground outside, which if you walk by or drive by, you can see that it was well loved for 20 years and is really in need of replacement. So that playground this spring will be replaced, along with work on our fencing, lighting, awnings, entry systems. And that was through Early Education and Care in the state that offered some capital grants that we received. We also are very fortunate that many of you might know here in South Boston, Collins Joy Project, a family that had a tragic loss of a child and then turned around and made this foundation to fund play spaces for children in South Boston, many of them outdoors, but we're the first project they committed to indoors. We have a room that is underutilized right now, a lot of collecting junk and storage that we are excited will be turned into a library and play space, particularly for, although we'll use it with the children throughout the day, it's particularly for the morning and afternoon hours where we often have parents and children lingering in our lobby because they maybe because of the way they get here with transportation, or maybe they're in a shelter that they need to be out of at a certain time or can't return to at a certain time. They need to be here before and after school, and currently they kind of hang around in our lobby, which is fine, but this is going to be a beautiful space with bookshelves and a little stage for dramatic play, and some climbing areas that parents and kids can utilize while they're waiting. And then we also were chosen as a universal pre-K site through Boston Public Schools. So we are in the first year of a 3-year grant with them, where this year is all about planning, but starting in the fall, joining our pre-K class. So currently, anybody in our childcare, they are the, children are, it's their guardians or caretakers that are in our adult education, but we will join that with children from the community, which will have lots of benefits for us of connecting with the resources of Boston Public Schools and funding and supports, more resources that we can give to our families because of what Boston Public offers. So that's really exciting. We're also really just looking for moving past these projects that are taking up a lot of time of our time this spring, as well as all the plans for our 50th anniversary. We'll be then turning to really looking at our staff structure and our professional development and working with a lot of the resources we hopefully raise in this 50th year, really building the reserves for Julie's. So yes, the 50th anniversary plan. So our big fundraising celebration is on April 4th at the UMass Club at One Beacon in Boston. We hope many of you will be able to join us for that. But it was also really important to us that we celebrate this milestone throughout the whole year and in ways that anyone can participate, even if they can't, purchase a ticket to a fundraising event. So other opportunities besides today, you coming on and joining us, we have these two events in the fall. We have a community open house on Thursday, October 10th, 4 to 6. Hoping those people that always drive and walk by and wonder what goes on here will actually pop in, get tours, hopefully see the Collins Joy Room and the new playground. Hopefully we'll both be ready by then. We'll have some children's activities and refreshments and things like that. And then in November, we're going to have a reunion. So this is really geared towards all of our alum, our former staff, former volunteers, some folks that still, volunteer with us regularly, but others that haven't been here in a long time, and a chance for them to look around the space again, hear what's new, reconnect with each other. We'll have door prizes and raffles and things like that. And let's see. Next, I think we're talking about ways that people can help us during this exciting 50th year and beyond. So, we hope you might attend one of those events that I just mentioned. If you have a pass with Julie's, we have different ways that you can share those, either through emailing pictures and stories to Christy or taking this survey. So if you scan this QR code you see on your screen right now, or you can just go directly to Julie's website when you have a minute. We have both a page about the 50th anniversary fundraiser in April, where you could buy tickets or sponsorships, things like that. But there's another page dedicated to everything going on for the 50th that includes a link to this survey. We'd love to collect your stories and ideas and pictures. And then just spread the word about the good work we do here and about all the different events and things we have going on this year. And I think that might bring us to questions and answers. Is that right? Yeah. So thank you again all for coming. And why don't we, you can certainly, we can probably shut down the slideshow, and then if people want to just raise their hand or jump in or put a question in the chat, we would be happy to answer your questions.
Michelle, thank you so much for that wonderful overview. And as Michelle mentioned, this 50th year and obviously fundraising is very important to us. I just also wanted to add that we are dependent on private donations, whether it's individuals, family foundations, corporate donations. And we do need to continue to grow those relationships, as our government funding, as many of you I'm sure have been hearing, that our governor has to cut a number of line items on the proposed budget. And we're told a lot of that is going to hit social services. So we will be appealing to all and everyone in our orbit to help introductions to any family foundations, corporate foundations, individuals that you may know that would benefit us. So feel free, you can reach out to me or to Christy or to Michelle directly with any of those. And again, thank you all for coming and joining us.
Michelle, hi.
Hi.
Good to see you again. So I'm a member of the, as you know, the Moms Club, and I noticed that you have Collins Joy Project and some other groups that you're working. How can moms and parents in the South Boston community help Julie's, meet their mission here?
Thank you. That's a great question. And the Moms Club relationship has been amazing. As Sharon said earlier, like that's how she first got involved. And what was that, 17 years ago, I think you said. So, that is such a impactful, a robust organization in town. And I think the connection that you all feel understanding, our original program for moms and kids, and how hard it must be, even with the supports that many of us have, how hard it is. So yeah, I think, we are always accepting donations. There's always a need for things like strollers, diapers, especially like larger sizes. all of the equipment that you need when you have a young child. We are always needing to replenish our donation room. We do seek new or only very gently used items. We want that dignity of respect of if you wouldn't use it or wear it, then that we don't want to give it away. Winter coats on the Moms Club, as you know, has been great with those kind of drives when there's specific needs at certain times of year. And I think too, if there's like certain professionals, like if the Moms Club has folks that, whether it's photography or graphic design or, skills that they would want to lend to Julie's also, that is really always welcome for the volunteer time as well. What am I missing anything, Sharon?
So I'm going to add to that. So most of our attendees are on public assistance. Their EBT cards are loaded every month. Unfortunately, personal hygiene is not covered under EBT. So toothbrushes, toothpaste, feminine products are not covered under that. Diapers and wipes, all those items that we take for granted, they have to figure out how they're going to get those items, where our pantry does help provide that. So yes, the Moms Club, we would love to, do another drive of toiletries. I remember years back, we had a few members on our board that traveled extensively. And I know a lot of hotels are going away from the trial sizes, but we had one board member who literally would bring in 50 shampoo and conditioners from her hotels that she had stayed at. So those are just like some ideas that have worked in the past.
Great. And I know we have a couple of nights out planned and events this spring, and that's like an easy add-on, have everybody bring toothpaste or shampoo.
Yes. Other items, gift cards. So again, along that line, we do collection of gift cards for CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Target, the local grocery stores, Stop and Shop, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, for the moms to supplement their income or to buy those personal hygiene products that they're not able to use their EBT cards with.
One thing, Rachel, that hasn't been mentioned is, especially if any of the moms are looking to get out at night and maybe want to tutor or volunteer, work with some of our students. Maybe there are moms who are taking time off from being teachers, or you don't even have to be a teacher. Margaret is actually one of our volunteers, and I think Mary used to be was one of our volunteers too. So we're always looking for evening volunteers or daytime volunteers if they have an hour or two during the day too. So
yeah, no, I think there's a lot of people that we're professionals in our home, but don't always have like a ton of flexibility, but could definitely do like evenings. So that's actually a great idea.
Anybody else have a question? Hi, Lisa.
I do. Hi. My thoughts are around your capacity. It was mentioned that you're currently serving around 100 students. How do you feel about your resources to do that, or are there plans to significantly expand that?
So I'll say a few things and then I'll see if Anna has anything to add. So our family development program has traditionally capped off at like 24, 26 moms. I don't know that there's anything like in our licensing that wouldn't allow us to have more, but it certainly has seemed to be what's manageable, so that we can have at least two levels of students, so some in one class and some in another, and then they like switch off. And then, so we're with ABE coming on board, and especially with it being able to be virtual, there are many, many students. And I honestly do not know how that staff keeps up with all of their students. And so I'll let Anna speak to it, but there are three teachers, right? Two full-time and we have one. ABE has two full-time teachers, family development has two full-time teachers, then we have one teacher that does some of both. So with 2.5 teachers, they're dealing with that other 80-ish students. And I can't imagine that we could take on more students without more teachers. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, no, we rely heavily on our volunteers.
Yeah.
To really help with the many levels that are just within one class. So we really have 2 levels, but you know, the first level is grade level equivalency 0 to 4, and the next level is grade level 5 to 12. So imagine it's almost the one room schoolhouse.
Mhm.
So we really like to split up into the groups. We have some non-readers. So we're very lucky to have one of the a Sisters of Charity who comes in and she sits one-on-one with students to do that basic literacy piece. But I just met with DTA, Department of Transitional Assistance. They come to follow up on the caseloads once a month. And as I told them, we're always taking in new students. I just took a new one in this morning. We're able to serve people because we know as fast as we take in students, with all the barriers that our students encounter, people are having to leave us or stop out, take some time off. So we do have to keep the numbers up. We're funded from Department of Education for 113 students. I would love to add another teacher on the ABE team to fill in the kind of gap in the middle level, what we normally call a pre-GED level. I would love to be able to add that level. If funds ever allowed, that would be my dream. So yeah, putting that out there. Because I would love to be, it would feel comfortable to be at about 120 students. And I would love to see more people coming in-house too. Although we do have more capacity since it is hybrid, we don't at least have to have as many chairs. That's a great
In
question.
addition to
Thank you.
teaching art, so one thing that's unique, there's so many things unique about our program, but one of them, which Anna is a huge advocate for and really has made happen, is that our staff is almost all full-time, and that's very unusual in the adult education field. So people are usually getting hired to teach 1 or 2 classes, and we are able to hire really high quality teachers and teachers that stay with us a long time because we've made these positions full-time, which mean in addition to teaching many different classes here, they are acting as advisors. They're doing the follow-up for those students that have stopped coming or their attendance isn't great, like checking in, what can we do? So each teacher has, a much bigger role than just a teacher. Well, just a teacher, we know all teachers do, right? But like we've really made them full-time jobs, what typically are part-time jobs. And that really helps. But, I started to allude to staffing, and, we are currently making sure we have all the hires we need to as required under UPK for that program will begin in the fall. Immediately after that, I'm looking to fill a social worker position that had been intentionally left empty for a while, and we're ready to try to fill that and is so needed. And then the next thing, if we could do a next thing, is 100% getting help for ABE, because they do an amazing job, but it is a lot. And I don't know how they balance all those students if they do. And like Anna said, the reliance on volunteers is huge. When you come to this floor, you'll see the classroom with all the students in it and on the screen, and there'll be a lesson with volunteers in the room. And then at some point it splits up, and every corner of this building is full of like a tutor or a volunteer with either one student or a small group, so that they can get that individualized attention. And that is such a big help because of the mixed levels, like Anna said.
I want to thank everyone for your questions, and just to note that we might get booted off at 1:40. So we just wanted to respect people's times. If you have additional questions, please reach out to us, and actually maybe folks could put your emails in the chat if you want to join our email list, or just make sure that we're connected, or if you want to receive a recording of this, please put your emails in, and Michelle can put her email in as well.
And then just to follow up on Lisa's question about expansion and Michelle's response, our goal is we've grown tremendously in the last 50 years. We want to grow, double that as well, because unfortunately, the need is there within our community, and it's continuing to grow in the community as well. So we want to be able to grow our program to serve the community as a whole.
And final question, Lisa, we are going to be doing annual report. We've built up our development staff, so hi. And so we're going to be doing.
Like build up development staff, instead of it just being me, we have Christy.
But we do have the capacity, and so we think it'll go out in near the fall. So our fiscal year starts in July. So it either maybe the end of summer or beginning of fall.
Thank you all for coming. If you have ideas for us, reach out. You know, we love to connect with everybody and share all the good work that's happening here.
Thank you all. Much appreciated.
Thank you. This is helpful.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Great work.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria.